Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Erica, Model E Erica, or however you prefer to call me. I am back, and I am back with a few ideas. So, I have been channeling my health, doing research, just doing what's right for me and my body. So, if you guys don't know, I am an advocate for health. I fully understand. I love the skin that I am in, and I don't believe for 1 minute that anybody else can tell me anything different or anyone can tell me what's best for me. You can always go out, seek advice, ask for opinions, but one thing I learned is you got to do research for yourself. So, I have been talking with a lot of people, and a lot of people wish that I would document my journey with high blood pressure medication. And I've decided to tell my story. Even though currently today I am still on blood pressure medications, but I have a plan. That I'm going to talk with my doctor as well, but I have a plan. So, this is going to be part one of how I got started with high blood pressure. So, my journey began a little over 2 years ago, back in 2020 of November. I remember going to my regular doctor's appointment, and I've never been a person who's had any hypertension or cholesterol issues until one incident when I had my last child back in 2000, um, 2015. I had him a little bit early, about 3, 4 weeks early, because for the consecutive 3 times that I have been going to my doctor's appointment, well, my blood pressure has been elevated. So that one time I went to my doctor's appointment, they told me, hey, you're already at the mark for full pregnancy, and you're not going back home. You're staying here because your blood pressure is too high, and we don't want to risk anything for you or the baby. So, as you can tell, at that moment, I stayed at the hospital and I had that baby. So, moving on, I remember that was the only time that I have ever had any type of hypertension issues. But then, after I had the baby, I was put on, I think it was meloxicam, if I pronounce it right. I was on that for just a little while. I think it was like maybe a month, not even a month, to be honest. And so after that, that was it. Everything was fine. So I started going back to my doctor's appointment. Now, this is going back to November of 2020. Um, my doctor says, your blood pressure is always elevated every time you come here. So I'm saying to my doctor, I believe I have the white coat syndrome because I have a blood pressure monitor. I check it at home, and my blood pressure is pretty good, as long as I keep stress down. So she says, well, we're going to have to, talk about getting you on some medication. So right there, I was like, whoa, 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 hold on. You're going too fast. I don't want to take medication. I've been good without medication, and I don't want to take medication. I've heard so many things about medication, and I'm not ready to change my life like that. Okay? So I think I went to her about 2 or 3 more appointments after, and she has been on me ever since. She was like, we gotta at least try. Let's put you on some medication and let's see if we can get it down. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stay on it forever. Let's just try it out and see what happens. So me, okay, being a trusting person, and thinking, okay, well, maybe it is something. Not considering everything that I have been going through at that time. that could have added a little stress to me. So at that time, we were moving into our first home, and it was a very stressful situation because we had got a new home, and it was just so stressful with the whole time period and this and that. And I think that, took me over. So I finally was able to be like, okay, let's go ahead and take the medication. So she wrote the prescription. I went and got the medication and I took it. Um, I can't remember exactly which one was it. It was a channel blocker. That's what it was. And oh boy, it really blocked some things. And that medication, I'm not going to call the name of the medication, but it was on a very low dose. It was the lowest dosage possible because, I'm a person who is very sensitive. So I don't do well with new things. So, and also I'm a person who don't take medication unless I'm just absolutely dying. And then I'll take a Tylenol or something. So I took the medication and I think I may have been on that medicine less than a week. And I took that one medication and I just started not feeling myself. I was not me. I was, my head and everything felt foggy. I just felt groggy. I wasn't myself. I was just like in my own little world and it just wasn't me. I had to give myself some self-talks like, Erica, come on, like this is not you. What is going on? I just wasn't feeling well. Like I just knew it was the medication that was doing something to my body. So when I would ask questions and I would go back to my doctor and she would say, well, it's the side effect of the medicine that's, making you feel dizzy. Just make sure that you continue to drink a lot of water, keep fluid in you, exercise and eat properly and give it a few weeks, then everything should go back to normal. Well, I haven't been normal since November of 2020. I haven't at all. And it took me about a year and a half of taking those medications plus other types of medications that I'm going to mention. Y'all don't let me forget, okay? Because I'm telling this story. I don't have anything in front of me. I'm just telling how it is from my head. So I that medication, and I had to pause there because that medication had brought so much memories to me and my family that no one would never forget. I took that medication and I passed out. I passed out on my bathroom floor. Luckily, my husband was home and he heard me. Now, I could have picture in my head of what happened. I don't know if that would really happen, but in my head, I knew I went to the bathroom, sat on the toilet, got up, and I was going to wash my hands. I washed my hands and I was reaching for a towel to dry my hands off to my left. And in my head, I pulled down the shower curtain and that's how I felt, and that was it. And I'm thinking in my head, that's probably what my husband heard when he was in the bed sleeping. And from what he told me, he said I was still breathing. And I hit my head a little bit on the sink, but my eye was open, but I was blacked out. And so he kind of like slapped me in my face and he said, and I believe it was probably about maybe a minute or so, I got up. And he took me to the hospital that night. And when I got to the emergency room, the ER physician, he said immediately, stop taking those medications. That one is normally like prescribed to men. It's kind of a stronger, so stop taking it, make an appointment with your doctor, and discuss others. Okay, y'all know that had me scared to death. At this point, I'm like, I don't want anything else to do with these medicine. I'm done. Okay. So I went back to my doctor, and of course, she gave me the rundown of possible heart attack, stroke, if my blood pressure continues to be high. Yes, I fell a victim to it, but just for a little while. And she said, okay, well, let's prescribe something else. So now this is the second medication, low dosage, of course. I'm not going to say the name of this medication, but this one was not a channel blocker. Um, this one became, I believe, an ARB. And I was told that it would be, less on the body. So of course I agreed to take it, and I take it, and I was on it maybe for about 2 3 months. Of course, every medicine that I took, it had a side effect. I was always dizzy, feeling lightheaded. Never wanted to vomit or anything like that, but just, you know, just a different feeling. It just wasn't me. And it took me, like I say, a year and a half after going through 5 types of medication. So now I am on my 5th medication that I've been trying out. But only take one, guys, only take one. But it took me 5 tries to find one that really agreed with me. So going back to that second medication, it was okay. I gave myself time to get used to it, but I still been feeling lightheaded. I've been feeling dizzy. Now, all of a sudden, when I start eating, I get this thing like food is stuck in my throat. And then next thing you know, I have like chest pains on the left. I can feel it like moving down my left part of my arms. I could have feel it in my jaws and everything. And I'm like, okay, what in the freak is going on here? I've never had any of these issues. Doctor, hey, I have this symptom. What is this? I feel like food is stuck in my throat. And she says, it's you have acid reflux and indigestion. Well, where did that came from? Well, I requested to see a gastroenterologist, and I went and had a visit with one, and he told me that it was the medication, and it was called dyspepsia. So go talk to your doctor and see if you can get another type of medication. Okay, well, I got off that one. That causes acid reflux. I don't want anything to do with that. That sucks. It hurts, okay? And so I went to the doctor, and that's when we started with the 4th medication. 4th medication wasn't bad. I was on it for about maybe 7 or 8 months. And it's a well-known medication that I know a couple people take it. A close family member of mine take it as well. But remind you, it never caused nobody else any problems. And so I decided to, go ahead and take it. Let's see what it does. And oh my God, that caused coughing at night. All it would do is just cough up. I'm in bed. My husband is like, what is wrong with you? I'm just always coughing all the time. And it seemed like every time I would breathe, I would get a tickle in my throat. And it would just, whoa, okay, this is symptom number 3. This can't be right. So I'll come to the conclusion in my head that every time I take a medication, it kind of suppresses one thing or put a band-aid on what I'm really here for. But then at the same time, it causes something else to malfunction. And I'm not feeling that. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's not supposed to work like that. I'm not feeling that. So we did that. And she said, well, I can give you some. Well, prior to that, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I went and started doing research. I went to Facebook, of course, and I joined a group for people who are experiencing similar things like me. And there was a lot of great things inside that group. I've met a lot of people out of those groups, And I'm gonna say, if you ever join a Facebook group and it has something to do with health, like blood pressure or cholesterol or anything like that, I'm here to tell you, you have to have a focused mind, because if not, those people in there will kill you. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of these medication cause anxiety and mental issues. And if you are not strong, your mind will take over you and it will end your life. And I felt inside there was a lot of people whose life would just end it. Like they were only in there just to talk about all the bad things, the negative things, that's what's going on. It was no type of positivity. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta get out of here. I can't do this. I come here looking for one thing, but they did help me answer a lot of questions that I have about why things were happening to me the way it was. And I wasn't no longer afraid of thinking that I was gonna die. You know, it's a reaction from the medication, a reaction that I don't like, but at least I can acknowledge what I have and I can move on and I can deal with it, right? So, next episode, I will talk about um, the final medication that I am on, and also, give you guys some other things that will happen. I hope that you enjoy this part one episode, which is, I think I told you guys a little too much in it. But I hope you guys enjoy this part one. Make sure you like and you share this with a friend. Subscribe to the channel. I do more than this. I make you laugh, I make you cry, I do podcasts, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I wear many hats, okay? So make sure you subscribe to the page and leave me a comment. Let me know if it's something specifically that you would like for me to talk about, because once again, I am not a doctor in any kind of way. I'm just speaking on my my journey, how these things affected me, and what I have learned how to, heal it and cope with it. And I hope that you guys stay safe out there and be positive if you are going through these things, because it is not the end of the road, I tell you. Like I say, it has been over a year and a half for me. And I think I'm at a point where I can say I am no longer struggling. So hopefully, over the next couple weeks, I will come back and tell you guys something more positive and perfect news. Once again, I am Erica. Thank you for tuning into my channel. And you guys, peace out.